Hello, and welcome to Crack the Egg Podcast, Season 2, Eggisode
Trace
3. Today we're going to be talking about Isla Vista Worship and
their new song.
Yeah.
I'll Go came out last Friday. No, the Friday before that. Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Pretty new. Also pretty vibey.
Yeah.
And today we have our first ever guest on Crack the Egg podcast, JC Parker.
Yes. Woo! From Parker Point. Go check them out.
Yeah. Small businesses.
All right, let's jump right into it. I don't even know how we're going to jump it right into it.
I know, me neither.
I'm going to read verse 1.
Okay.
Even when I cannot see, your spirit is leading me. Your voice quiets my fears. Your hand wipes every tear. Is that what you have?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think? Thoughts?
What is it again? Can you read it again?
Yeah. Even when I cannot see, your spirit is leading me. Your voice quiets my fears. Your hand wipes every tear. I think I'm just going to jump right into what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment that this comes out, I would have moved to Tennessee. And that means I would have left these beautiful girls. The reason why we picked this song is because the day that I was interviewing my last interview, whatever it's called, this song actually came out, and it's called I'll Go, right? So like it's all about obedience. So that's why we kind of started a little teary-eyed, and that's why this episode is going to be really hard for us, but
This Eggisode.
See,
you messed it up. Yep.
So, even when I cannot see, your spirit is leading me. That's so good, because it's like, even though we don't know what's going to happen in this next season, like, we know that God is leading us to this thing. And we know it's going to be one of the hardest things that we ever do. But, like, his voice is what's quieting our fears, and everything that he's done, it's like he's opened doors, he's closed doors, he's making everything happen in my life. So, in our life. So yeah, his hand wipes away every tear.
Okay, Jesus, my word.
Anyway. Yeah. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's just, as hard as it is, it's good to know that, like, it's just cool. Like, I feel like in maybe like a normal person's life, it would just be sadness.
Yeah.
But it's just reassuring that we, like, clearly see God's hand, like, all over this and over your lives, and we know that it's like exactly what needs to happen, and it just makes it like something that like we can also like celebrate with you guys with, and it's just cool to see, like, to truly see how God is leading you guys through this whole like little journey thing.
Yeah. Any thoughts over there?
I think it definitely is cool to see how everything just lined up, and like we know it's not a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really was God lining everything up just for this moment.
Yeah.
And not even just for like you and Brandon, but like for me, like I felt so like you guys were equipping me for like this moment.
Yeah. The chorus says, "So I'll go anywhere you take me, 'cause I know your love will sustain me. And I don't care if I look crazy. So I'll go anywhere you take me."
Yeah, I just love how reassuring the song is,
Yeah.
especially for like this season that you're going through.
Yeah. And we were talking about before we started streaming
or whatever this is,
Podcasting.
recording, that it's so evident even in the Bible. Like, and when you read the Hall of Faith, which is Hebrews 11, like, you think about all these people, Moses and Abraham and other people.
And Sarah and Noah and did you say that?
No.
And other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like you see the faithfulness in all of these people. Like Abraham, like willing to kill his own son. Like, that's crazy.
I know. Things that I can't even imagine
Right.
doing.
Yeah.
Building a huge boat, looking
like
looking
and it's
crazy.
never rained before. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Noah looked probably clinically insane.
Right.
They probably wanted to send him to the nut house.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Who else? Moses, like talking to a bush that's on fire, bro. Like, what?
Yeah.
And the walls of Jericho walking around something.
I know.
Like, what?
Yeah. Just, yeah, all these people definitely looked crazy to the world.
Yeah.
But God uses the crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dude.
I feel like where it says the whole song, I'll go, like, obviously you guys don't just want to pack up all your stuff and leave, but just the obedience in that of just going is incredible. Like, because you totally could have said,
No.
no, like,
Yeah.
I think I'm good here. Like, everything we know is here.
I'm comfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've been through that, just packing up everything I own and leaving, like, to come to college, but then I ended up staying, so then it was, like, real when I actually packed up all of my stuff
Yeah.
and brought it here and moved here and, like, not knowing a single person, but knowing that this is where I was supposed to be, knowing that even though I didn't know a single person here, I was still obedient to what God was telling me to do, but I don't know. I feel like when you know,
Yeah.
and I feel like you know.
Yeah. And also, God, like, blesses the obedient.
Yeah.
And that's something you see, you know, a lot in the Bible. And, like, even though it'll be hard, He's going to bless you guys up
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
True. Where are we?
I
Verse
also,
two? Oh.
I like the line, because I know your love will sustain me. Because all we need is love. Da, 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 da. All we need is His love. And it's just a good reminder that, like, that's all we need, literally.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to give us anything.
Right.
We don't deserve comfort or all the things that we feel like we can't live without. Coffee.
Right?
Do you want me to read verse 2?
Yeah.
All my hope is in you. When darkness surrounds me, you surround me too. And then it just repeats that. So yeah, this song is super simple, but even just the two words, like, I'll go, it has so much, like, the action of going is so difficult. And I just love when a song is so simple, but it just has so much power to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. When darkness surrounds me, you surround me too. So, like, when that just, like, with depression or anxiety or all those things that, like, we see our youth or young adults go through, like, we need to remember and try to reinforce, like, that God is there too. Like, even though you feel down, even though everything is maybe breaking down around you, like, God is still there. So, like, even when you feel alone, God's gonna be there.
Yeah.
He is there. He's not. He's gonna be there. It's like He is there.
We just need to, like, open our eyes.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's always about perspective. I'm always, whenever I think everything is going wrong, it's like, this world sucks. My life sucks. But, like, God is just right there, like, next to me. Just, like, look at me. Look at the goodness in your life. Look at what I've done for you. Like, look at, me sending my son to die for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys talked about that in the last episode. Was like how you were saying, like,
Mm-hmm.
you just can't stand when people are like
Yeah.
always down all the time and always like complaining. Like, it's like, look at what you have. Like,
Yeah.
look around you. Look at your friends, your family, where you live. Like, I mean, you're not homeless. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have friends. You have a church that you can go to. There's plenty of churches you could go to
Yeah.
and worship like freely.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not like you're not like you have so many things. Like
Yeah.
your life doesn't
Yeah.
suck as bad as it as bad as you think.
Yeah. Yeah. Just about being obedient, like, in everything, in the hard, in the
little things.
in the little things. Yeah.
Let me be Vanessa real quick. What are the little areas in your life that you feel like you're not obedient in?
Yikes. I don't know. That's a hard question.
Yeah.
You go first. I don't even know my answer.
Hot seat.
Anger. Like, I let anger overtake me a lot, and just compromising with, like, we act like it's not gonna affect us, like, either music or what we watch
Yeah.
or what we even, like, think, right? Like,
Yeah.
stupid jokes.
Yeah.
Like, but it does affect our heart. Like, it gets darker and darker, or we get more, what's the word?
Like,
Desensitized.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just those little things, the little compromises. It all of that matters, and we should stand firm on the faith, right?
Yep.
Goes along with our sermon series.
What was the question again? What
Um,
are little things?
little areas where you're not obedient.
I feel like fear is a big one for me. Like, I always am like, I'm not talking to them. If you're not talking to me first, I'm not walking up to them and making conversation. Like, just because I'm scared, like, I'm going to say something wrong, or they're going to be like, well, one time I saw you do this, and that wasn't what Jesus would have done. Like, just, like, scared of being obedient to what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, we're supposed to be, like, going and making disciples, but being scared of going is
Yeah.
not good when that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. You?
Just like thinking about it right now, I would say the little thing for me is how much I use my phone. Mostly because it's just so part of our society and culture now, but it is so unhealthy. And, you can just tell yourself, like, I gotta be up with the, times. Technology is such a big part in everybody's life now. But the, like, amount of time that I've, like, put my phone above God is, like, so terrible.
Yeah.
And I guess it is, like, kind of a big thing, but in my head it's a little thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's a little thing for me, like, oh, let me just, I don't know, there's just so much of my phone that sucks me in and just takes up so much of my time and creates habits of, like, laziness and, like, different things like that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like it's... Go ahead.
No, you go
I
ahead.
feel like it seems small because you're just like, oh, I'm just going to go on Instagram for 10 minutes and then you scroll through, and then, like, at the end
3
of the
hours
week,
later.
you get your screen
Your
time.
screen
You're like,
time.
8 hours on this week? Like, that's a whole day
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah,
Like,
literally.
that's literally the time that you're awake all
Yeah.
day for one
Yeah.
day. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's not so little anymore when
Yeah.
it's 8 hours of your life. Like,
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
I'm not good at math, but that seems like a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, it's the compromise. Like, it's the fact that we put all these things before God, even our thoughts, right? Like, it's not that big a deal. Even, I don't know. I think about, like, friends that you cuss around, or not that you cuss around, that cuss around you,
Right.
and then they apologize to you. Like, no, I'm not God. I don't care. Whatever. Do what you're going to do. But at the same time, it's like, if you feel convicted, why are you cussing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why? Oh, don't cuss around her. She's a Christian. What? Like,
Or just don't cuss at all.
right. Because, like, even in a worldly way, like, it's just ignorance.
Yeah.
Like, you could use regular words.
Right.
Like, not every other not every other word has to be like the F-bomb or anything like that. So, I don't know. I feel like there's too many things that we do compromise, even as Christians. Like, in everyday life, like, even in entertainment and stuff like that. Like, it's so annoying. Like, I don't want to be looked at as a what's the word? A prude, right? Like, oh, you can't listen to this. You can't do this. You can't, like, I like my 90s music, bro. And they cuss, and it was horrible. Like, it was always about sex. But, like, I don't know.
Yeah, music was a big one for me, too, because, like, I've been, obviously, in church my whole life, and so there's some songs now that I'll hear, and I'm like, why was I listening to that when I was, like, 13?
Yeah.
Like, what were my parents thinking letting me listen to that? Which they probably didn't know, but, like, what was I thinking? Like, come on, but that was a big one for me, and I'm like, it's just music, like, it doesn't affect me, and then now I hear Dave say it all the time to the youth,
Garbage
they're
in,
like,
garbage out.
yes, and it's like, it's so true, like, if you're listening to things that are cussing every other word and talking about drugs and sex and alcohol and all these things, like,
It affects you.
yeah, it does.
Like, I was so in love with love.
Yes.
I was just gonna talk about that. Like, it's funny because I talked to Jada about this before because, you know, she like grew up like so much listening to Taylor Swift. Basically, most of her songs are like about breakups or like being heartbroken, about love, and even like stuff like that. Even though it's not drugs, sex, cussing, even that. When you're like feeding that into your mind or watching like movies and TV about
rom-coms,
like all that stuff, like it changes the way you think. It
You're
makes
consumed
you
by it.
it either makes you like obsessed with finding somebody or you just like, I feel like, adopt these different like traits and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I've never thought of that.
Yeah. I want to throw you in under the chair under the bus right now.
Me?
No, Tay.
Wait.
Because of the whole topic that Brandon keeps bringing up.
Oh, with the Umbrella Academy?
Not just that, like anything, any why I don't know. You could tell me shut up and no, we're not going to talk about this, but like, why do you like for TV? You do too.
I mean, it's funny because I mean, yeah, I shouldn't, but Umbrella Academy is like like up here compared to like
anything that has like compromise in the shows. Big Brother.
I mean, basically
Bachelor.
any show. Yeah, all shows.
But do you feel like you're compromising at all? Like,
well, let me think.
That's a no.
Well, it just depends on like what it is. Like cussing to me, like that doesn't really like affect me. I don't even notice. Like, for example, this show called The Summer I Turned Pretty. I watched the whole thing. And then I was, like, telling Ellie, like, oh, it's such a cute show. It's, like, super, like, you
Dude, I started watching that, and I'm like,
I was like,
what the heck, bro?
I was like, you totally would be able to watch it. I don't think your parents would care. It's probably, like, PG-13, maybe. And then she was like, there's so much cussing in it. But, like, I don't notice that. That's just, like, one of the things. But, like,
but don't you feel like that desensitized?
Yeah. But, I mean, I also don't have a problem with cussing.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know, that's always been something that I've, like, grown up around. That is one of my mom's philosophies, actually.
What?
That she, like, exposed us to stuff like that. And, like, she truly, like, believes that, like, that's why me and Cameron never really struggled with, like, drugs or, like, I mean, I don't know how much Cameron cussed. I know he's not perfect, but, because, like, when we were little, she would always take us to, like, parties with, like, her college friends, and they all, like, smoke and, like, drink a lot and, like, all that. That's just, like, one of her
That's interesting.
theories that, like, because we were, like, grew up around that and we saw how they acted, that we didn't really want to be involved in it.
Yeah.
I don't know the truth around that, but
I heard a story of someone who made their kid, like, get super drunk like, and then they never liked it ever.
I mean,
like,
it
they
makes
never
sense.
wanted-
I mean, that
Yeah.
sounds pretty terrible, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do that.
Right.
Not recommended. but-
What about you?
I don't know. Like, it's weird because I feel like just recently it's been like more and more like, how are you telling these kids not to watch Stranger
Yeah.
Things when you're watching it? Like, how do you know? I mean, I've never
watch-
watched Stranger Things.
I
but-
watched Stranger
You've
Things.
never seen Stranger Things?
No. But just from what I've heard, like, I'm like, why am I telling them not to watch? Okay, for me, I'm saying don't watch The Bachelor. Like, that's nothing good for you.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, what is it good for me? Like, it's not. And I feel like that definitely more when I wasn't married. Like, I faithfully watched The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's so dumb. Like, I look at it now and, like, I'm literally just watching it to laugh because I'm like, these people are, it's so dumb. Like, why are you doing this? Like, you're, all 20 of you are dating the same person. Like,
Yeah, I don't get that
What?
shit.
Yeah, this is
yeah,
so
but it's
terrible.
so bad. But then I'm like, okay, is this a compromise? Because, like, now I'm married, so I don't need a boyfriend. Like, I don't need another boyfriend or 20 boyfriends. But, like, at the time, it was
Glad
like,
you don't.
yeah. Like,
we
at the
do
time,
not agree with polygamy.
right. But at the time, it was like I wanted that for myself so
Yeah.
bad. Like, I just wanted someone to pursue me and someone to, like, just explore your options, like,
Yeah.
see what's out there and see, like, and I found myself doing that, like, just walking around looking for anyone that would
Give you
give me attention, yeah. But now I feel like it has a less effect on me because I'm married, but still probably shouldn't watch it.
Yeah. I definitely will say that, I mean, this goes with, like, anything in my life, not just, like, watching stuff. Whenever I'm, like, closer with God, I feel more convicted about that stuff.
Yes.
When I'm
Yeah.
more distant
Yeah,
from
that's what I'm
God,
saying.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel less convicted about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. For me, it's always like shows with like dirty jokes. They may be married, but it's still like weird, you know, to watch like dirty jokes and
Yeah.
because it's hilarious. I don't know,
Right. Yeah.
but yeah, that always gets me. It's like, oh, why was I watching that?
Yeah.
guess I just gotta stick to Jess and Gabe on YouTube.
Shout out.
Yes, we love Jess and Gabe and their little baby. Okay, well, application to band and tech teams. Obedience. Who wants to tackle this guy?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, JC also, by the way, is on the tech team.
Yes.
She does those lights.
I do. I do the light.
You said doo doo.
I did.
Well, Vanessa, take it away.
Just make sure that what you're doing, you're being obedient to. And then another thing that I was talking about before we started recording is don't be disobedient by trying to do something you're not supposed to be doing.
Right.
So obey, like, okay, you like singing, you like worship, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be a worship leader,
Right.
or you like tech or sound or whatever, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're supposed to be doing sound, or it doesn't necessarily mean that you're supposed to be doing the stream or lights. Like, especially if you don't have the talent there, be obedient to how God has made you. Like, if you have that talent, then pursue it. But don't make it all about that thing either.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe you have an interest in it. You don't really know if it's what God wants for you. You can try it out.
Yeah.
But also be like praying about it and
Yeah.
really asking God, is this where you want me? And listen to him whenever he says yes or no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's not what you want.
Right.
I feel like flip side of that, like, because when I started doing lights, like, I had
No desire.
no desire, no idea what I was even doing.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know the lights change when we're at church because I was just so, like,
That's so funny.
oblivious. And then, but it was like they had just put out like a video announcement saying we really need people to help in tech team if you're interested.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't. I don't even know how I got there, honestly. But Brandon was just like, hey, do you want to help out with tech? And I was like, I have no idea how to do that, but sure. And then I did. And then I was like, this is something I can do where I'm already here. Like, it's not another night of the
Yeah.
week where I have to come and do things. Like, why would I not?
Yeah.
Like, if there's a need
Yeah.
in the church,
Yeah.
and I'm not doing anything except sitting there in church listening, why can I not do the lights or
Yeah.
help when they need help?
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's how I knew it was the right thing for me to do, because I'm already there. And
Yeah.
it's if I don't do it, who's gonna do it?
yeah.
That's
If
good.
you're called to do it and you feel like you need to serve somewhere, why are you not?
Yeah, I totally feel like we're all supposed to be like working or volunteering in our or being active
Yeah.
in our churches. Like churches aren't there just to feed you.
Right.
I can't stand it when people say, "I'm not getting fed here."
Well, go to a restaurant and get some food there, because that's not the point.
Right.
That's funny.
So like help, like the whole purpose of the church is community.
Yeah.
So
And it's
Yeah.
a body, like it has to all be
Right.
functioning, yeah.
We just talked about this yesterday. Bryce and I did. I was like, we do so many things, and we're like trying to figure out, we're going to have to either scale back or pick our favorites or what we know that we're called to do, and
Yeah.
pray about it and all these things. And I was like, because in reality, it shouldn't be the same 30 people
Yes.
that are serving every single week,
Ugh.
doing lights and
the
camera
worst.
and sound and serving in kids ministry
Yep.
and serving in cafe and being a greeter. Like, it shouldn't be the same 30 people every Sunday or
Serving in every capacity.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like, step up. If you're not serving somewhere, or if you're not helping and there's a need,
Yeah.
why? Like,
Yeah.
why are you not?
Yeah. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Be obedient.
Yeah.
Don't be disobedient.
Yep. Be obedient.
Yeah.
But also, flip side to what you were saying earlier about, what did you say, not doing what you think you're supposed to do, or being disobedient. I don't know what you said, but something like that. Like, it's okay if you're not called to do that. Like,
Right.
you're not supposed to be called to do everything. And, like, you need to know, like, if you're called to do something, you'll know. Like,
Yeah.
if you're not, then, and you try
The
and
doors-
force it,
yeah.
then
Yeah.
that's not being obedient. You're
Yeah.
just doing whatever you think because that's what you want to do. It's not being obedient when you're not called to do it.
Right.
And if you are called to do it, then you'll know, because your heart should be there
Right.
and it should want to
Yeah.
do whatever you're doing.
Yeah. And doors like open or close. I wasn't sure if you were gonna talk. Doors should open or close. Like, I'm a strong proponent of that. Like, just because I've seen it work in my life. Maybe it doesn't necessarily work for everybody, but like, I take steps of faith, and then if a door gets shut, I don't move forward.
Yeah.
If a door gets open, I just continue to move forward. Right. Like, even with this whole moving thing. Right. Like I didn't know. Like, anyway, I don't know if I want to get into it, because I don't want to cry again. So, yeah, just follow God's lead. It's not always about what you feel.
Yeah.
But it is like, but God just needs to be in there. Like, be praying, be in your word.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that I always say. Like, just get in your word. I feel like I've gotten a little better at reading, by the way.
Yay. Go, Vanessa.
Not the thing, but I was reading the Bible.
True. Just having like the intention of your heart, I think, is just so important. But even if you think you're being obedient, like, are you being obedient to yourself or to God? Like, where does your heart really lie, you know? But I'll go.
Yeah, I'll go. Woo woo.
I guess we can wrap her up. Moving forward, it might look a little different for me and Vanessa, but crack the egg will not die.
No, it won't.
True.
We might need to figure some
Never.
things out, you know,
Yeah.
test the waters,
Yeah.
but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Crack the egg.
Go follow us on the gram,
The Spotify.
the Spotify, the Apple, the whatever else you
YouTube.
use to listen to
YouTube.
things. Oh yeah, that thing. YouTube.
Remember to share. If you want us to grow, and if you really believe in us, then share and leave us a review.
We would love, for you to slide into our DMs and tell us, if you watched our episode, give us feedback.
Yeah.
We're down for anything.
Yeah. Love you.
Bye.